mandates that all motor vehicles be insured by their owners and or users. And this is mainly for the protection of these same owners, other road users and third parties in cases or claims arising from the conduct of the operators of these vehicles on our roads. On our show today, we discuss motor insurance. Do stay tuned. This is Law Express.
Is a private legal practitioner, chartered insurance professional, and an adjunct lecturer at KNUST and GIC. She enjoys spending her free time gardening and offering counseling. Solomon Chumberima is a private legal practitioner with a strong passion for teaching and reading. He combines his legal expertise with a love for education, continually seeking to expand his knowledge and share it with others. Nuala Seidu. She's a private legal practitioner and a consistent member of our 3-lawyer panel on the show every week. She also doubles as the host of the show. She likes to play tennis and read.
Well, I think when we want to talk about motor insurance, it would be good to first discuss insurance, a little bit of insurance, and why it is important for the economy. We have something we call gross national product or gross domestic product in economics. Let me come down to the basis. For instance, Ghana didn't have anything at all. Let's say we started from zero, and we had cocoa or gold worth $1 million. That was extracted from the earth. Gold extracted from the earth worth $1 million. Or we planted cocoa and then we pluck our cocoa worth $1 million and sold the cocoa on the international market. So we got $1 million coming into the country. Now, when you ask the finance minister or the president, what is the wealth of Ghana? He will say $1 million because we just received $1 million, which has just been distributed. So everything in the country has a value. There is a need for us to have this wealth always having the value. We don't want to lose value. So we need to keep value. Anything that you have, anything that you own, you need to keep that value. If it goes down, the country goes down in value. So when I buy a vehicle, it is important that I keep the value of the vehicles at all point in time. And two things that you need to do to keep the value of items or property is either you take good maintenance, you do good maintenance on them, and then you take insurance on them.
So the main target or the main reason for insurance is just to protect and maintain the value of whatever asset you have.
That's exactly.
So let's now bring it home, okay? We've done the generics. What are the types of insurance covers available for somebody who owns a motor vehicle?
All right. So we started by saying that anybody that puts or permits a motor vehicle to be on the public roads is mandated to have insurance. Now, the law mandates the person to have what we call a third-party insurance policy. And as the name suggests, the focus is the third party. So when you come to insurance terms, the two parties are the insurance company and the person that walks into the insurance for the insurance product. That's the insured. Yeah. Now, any other person outside of these two people become the third party. All right? So the third party insurance cover concentrates on the third party. And then the benefits or the risks, because insurance basically covers risks and liabilities, okay, that it covers when it comes to the third party is injury to that third party. So if I move my vehicle out and I run into someone and the person gets injured, third party provides cover for that. Property of the third party. So we call it third party property damage. So if I drive my vehicle or you drive your vehicle onto the road and then you damage another person, that's the third party property. It could be another vehicle, it could be their house, you can run into someone's house.
Electricity pole.
Yes, so any property of a third party that you damage, you are liable to replace it or pay some compensation to the person.
That is the law, the third party requirement of insurance. Why so? People have purchased vehicles in the past, before the law.
Okay.
And then they're having fun or having pleasure with their vehicles. Run into people's items, property, hit people here and there, and they don't have any compensation for such persons.
Or it could be as simple as some kid in your home picking your vehicle when you're not watching and causing havoc. So in that situation, then the law had to be made to ensure that such persons, such third parties who have their properties damaged or who suffer injury out of the use of motor vehicles must pay some form of compensation.
We liken insurance to contributions we make in our families and our communities. Someone's father dies, you all contribute 10 cedis to give to the person.
That's not how insurance works.
It is. It's about pool. Numbers and a pool. You contributing monies into the pool, and from it, if there's an issue with one person, you take the money from there to assist the person. That is basically is our traditional way of taking care of people that are in need that has transitioned into insurance. So if we look at it that way, you wouldn't say because you have been contributing 10 cedis all the time to someone, you want your father to also die. You get it. So if we have that mindset, you are looking at a circumstance where something happens to someone. The person might not be in the position to be on their feet. So we all come in and we contribute a little bit of money to support the person.
You make
so
it
with
look
motor
so nice.
insurance,
You make it sound so nice. She's packaging the justification and using our societal influences to make it really posh.
That is really the truth. That's what happens with insurance.
The ties. Why should somebody chooses to drive a very big car. You just want something that moves from point A to point B. And you are a very careful driver. Why should my money be supporting you if you want the biggest car and then you don't drive properly?
That's why we are looking at the various types. So there are categories. When you take the third-party motor insurance, as I explained, it's supposed to take care of injury of the third party. It's supposed to take care of you damaging the third party's property. And then we have now extended it a bit to cover for personal accident for the driver of the vehicle.
Okay, so let's break it down. You have a third-party insurance cover.
Yes.
It covers whoever you hurt.
Yes.
Yeah, property
injury
damage.
and death.
So injury, death, and property damage.
Yes.
But to what extent?
For the property damage, we cover you to 7,000 Ghana cedis.
So there's even a cap with that?
There's a cap with that because it's insurance. And the insurance law provides that any insurance that you provide or you issue, it must not be unlimited. There must be a limit. So
if the injury is more and the driver has to top up, that's their problem. It's a side conversation.
That is their problem.
Yes.
That is their problem.
Okay.
So when you damage somebody's property, we pay up to 7,000 Ghana cedis. However, you can purchase more. You can top up your premium to, I know companies that purchase up to 1 million Ghana cedis because maybe they use heavy vehicles and that when they hit somebody's property, it's going to cause a bigger loss.
To some extent cover workman compensation if the vehicle hits one other staff on the
Workman's
premises.
compensation does not come under motor insurance.
No, but I'm saying it can operate to some extent in that way. For instance, this third party is in the premises. He's a staff maybe, but he's not into the equipment department. He's hit. This is a third party hit. He can't get a cover?
It is true. We have a public liability insurance that when you take, a company takes, the company can extend their public liability insurance by what we call the motor contingent insurance.
So for somebody like me, that's what I'll be looking at. Instead of taking separate policies, why don't I get one in a way that I can cover people?
We have it. We have the general third party liability policy that covers your general liability, legal liability towards third party. And then you can extend that policy with a motor contingent policy. So when your
just fancy names.
When your motor liability, the limit, you exhaust the limit under the motor, you can jump on the general third party liability to pay more. So if the 7,000 is, the loss is, let's say 20,000. Now under the motor policy, the limit for third party property damage is 7,000. So you exhaust that one. Then you can come to your general third-party liability policy, which has a motor contingent for more. So that arrangement is also in place.
And then there's flexibility with insurance. You know, as he has explained, the basic cover, which you pay a basic premium for.
Which people do just to meet the legal requirements.
And it really covers a lot. People don't know. It covers, as I said, you cause injury to someone or death. Not just injury, death. And then also you damage their property. The third party covers it. As I said, we have extensions to cover personal accidents of the driver, which ordinarily wasn't part of it. Now, we have to note that the third party insurance focuses on the third party because that's what the act or the law requires. Now, what happens to your own vehicle? What if you go for third-party insurance and you leave your vehicle in your house, you get up the next day, a thief comes to steal it, or there is fire? So if you want to cover for your vehicle as well, then you take a step forward.
One thing I'm picking up, which many people do not know, we just assume that, look, I don't want the police to arrest me, so I'm just going to get the barest minimum in insurance, take it out, so that when they stop me, I have a cover. So many people do not even read the policy like they should to know what their rights are and what they can go for, what they can claim, and what they even have to do to be qualified to make those claims. But it's important to tell our viewers that apart from motor accidents, which is on the road, those accidents, theft, fire are all things or events that can be covered by your insurance. We'll go for a quick commercial break at this point. When we return, we'll continue to the next level of cover. This is Law Express. Don't go away.
Right. So before the break, I will explain what third-party insurance covers. And I spoke about the flexibility of insurance. You look at your situation and see that which can happen to you, is likely to happen to you. And based on that, you can progress to another form of insurance. And that is where we have the third party, fire and theft. So the name explains it.
Wait, so what you're saying to us is that apart from just the simple vanilla third party insurance, you can custom build it by adding fire and theft?
And theft, yes.
But can you just do third party and fire, third party and theft, or the two must come together?
The industry has functioned in a particular way that you have about 3 policies. So you usually have the fire and theft. But
can you opt for just fire and theft?
Yes, you can. Third party, because that was one is mandatory, you would have that. Then you now add on to that. So you can add fire and theft. So what it's saying is that if you have a damage to your property, your car, we are talking of motor insurance here, your car, and the damage is as a result, the cause of the damage is fire, or you have someone stealing your car, then it will be covered under third party, fire and theft. Third party only will cover the basic things we spoke about: injury to the third party, death to the third party, and property damage of the third party. But when you go ahead and pick third party fire and theft, you extend your cover. So you live in a neighborhood.
Whose property is this fire and theft covering?
Your property. Your car that you have insured.
Okay.
It covers it against fire and theft. So you live in a neighborhood that there's a lot of theft activities in your neighborhood. You know,
would that affect your premium?
It does, just a little bit more, about 1% or 2%. Because fire and theft is on the value of your vehicle, you pay a premium, which is a percentage of the value of your vehicle.
So I agree with you, but I just want to understand the maths of it. Okay. So let's assume that we all have similar model car, year, everything. We're all trying to get a third-party policy on it. We both decide that we want to add fire and theft. But my home is near a fuel filling station, which increases the likelihood of fire occurring because highly volatile space. Now, the question is, would I pay more than somebody who lives probably in a very green zone and is not likely to have the incidence of fire, although we all have the same baseline conditions?
Most likely you would pay more because insurance covers risk.
Okay.
The risks of it happening.
So same situations, but just the location now makes a difference.
Because that is where your car is kept. And then there's a more likelihood of damage happening to your...
Do you check these things as insurance entities?
Every prudent insurance underwriter will, because they have some interactions with you when you are filling your proposal form. They ask some questions. How often, where is the car kept at the close of day?
Do you have a garage? Do you ask these questions?
We have it in our proposal
for
forms.
the theft.
Yes.
Because it's like,
where do you keep your car? And then you want to know what the car is used for.
Okay.
You know, you state the area in which, and every prudent underwriter will look at all the answers you have provided, and based on that, they can adjust your premium.
So this thing is discretionary to a large extent.
You have some minimum rates that are...
Having little kids, would it count? Because the high likelihood of a mom getting into an accident with a kid in the car, you know, there's a slightly elevated, scientifically proven, because a kid could just say, "Mommy," and you are distracted. As against maybe a startup, you know, a young person starting out life.
Right.
Do those things count?
They all count very much.
This is serious.
So when you are buying insurance, we give you a proposal form, as my colleague
You literally want
mentioned.
to harvest the person's entire life.
What we have seen these days is that somebody just sent you a WhatsApp message.
Oh.
I have this, my vehicle. That is a vehicle details. Toyota Camry.
The year.
When you ask any other question,
He's angry.
the person is angry already. And the market is also very competitive. So many people get away with this. And our database is not showing that much disparity to enable us narrow down and then charge that equitable premium that you have to pay because of where you live. So we have relaxed all those risk factors, and therefore we are basically charging that standard rate that we have set for the market. But technically, you are supposed to pay according to the risk that you introduce into the pool. So if your risk is higher, then you have to pay a little bit more. That's why we call it equitable. So that the person who drives well will not pay much. So we have the no claim discount. That is what we are now applying. So if you don't make a claim, every year you get a discount on your premium.
We'll come to that. But let's go to comprehensive. Those who go for comprehensive are usually people who pay attention to the benefits, pay attention to the justification for that level of investment in terms of the cover. Or people who have been compelled by some circumstances. Maybe you're taking a facility, you're using your car, a bank facility, you're using your car as a collateral, and it's a requirement so that the bank too can be comfortable. So let's discuss. So what does comprehensive insurance give to the policyholder?
Good. Comprehensive insurance is the widest form of motor insurance policies. It provides the widest coverage for insurance. The third party is a basic, so it's already on it. We mentioned the third party, fire and theft. So that one is also covered. Yes, the hybrid, let's see. So that one, the fire and theft, is also covered in the comprehensive. Then the comprehensive goes further to cover collision. You know, when your vehicle collides with another vehicle, it covers crashes, it covers overturning, it covers flood. We've seen situations where in an area, the whole area is flooded, and then your vehicle gets flooded.
Yeah,
then
it might not even be where you live. You could be driving and
you could be driving and then
the June 3rd fire disaster.
Yes.
The June
it's a perfect
floods.
Example.
Exactly.
Yeah, lots
so
of vehicles.
with that, the comprehensive covers. And then the good thing is any accidental damage. Okay, any accidental damage. Like I initially mentioned, you could be driving out of your home. When we started insurance, it was on the public road. The accident or the claim must be an incident that happened on the public road. We've shifted. We've moved forward.
So now
even in your own home,
your gate comes back and
the
then
gate comes back and hit the vehicle.
What about your kid throwing a stone and then it gets your
kid
windscreen?
throwing a stone is a deliberate act. If it is found, insurance do not cover.
A kid, a minor,
could
not have intentionally thought about destroying your windscreen.
Fine.
At that point, is that still deliberate?
So if it is found to be accidental,
yes,
we would definitely pay. If it is found to be accidental, I mean, some kids will be throwing stones in their home,
maybe next door,
and then hits your vehicle, the windscreen.
So there will be a cover.
There will be a cover. The windscreen, you've seen a lot of vehicles with cracked windscreens. Those who have comprehensive, you just come over and then you get a windscreen changed.
So it doesn't matter how little the damage is. Once it makes you uncomfortable enough to want it fixed, then you come to have the conversation.
Then you come and then we fix the windscreen for you.
You talked about collision.
Yes.
It means that two cars have come in contact and crashed. Comprehensive covers the repair of your car and the other person's car.
Comprehensive covers the repair of your car. The third party aspect, which is embedded in the comprehensive, will cover the repair of the third party vehicle up to the limit of the 7,000, the standard 7,000.
Okay, yes. So if the highest level for that third party, assuming the person did not come for a bespoke arrangement, if the highest limit was 7,000 cedis, it doesn't matter if it's a Rolls Royce you've gone to crash your Kia Picanto into. It means that you need to pay. You give
top up.
Yes,
7,000 only.
Yes,
so
we will pay the 7,000, and then you will have to do the top up to repair that person's vehicle.
Let's make it easy for our viewers. How do you just oppose that with a third party? Third party, do you take care of the person's, the policyholder's car as well?
So it's the same. He explained that the comprehensive is you adding on to the third party. So the third party that everybody takes is the one that covers for damage to the third party's vehicle or the other person's property.
So it means
and the limit is 7,000.
For you, you're on your own. If you buy third party only,
yes.
You're on your own.
Yes. So the additional thing that comes when you take a comprehensive is damage to your car. Accidental damage to your car. Any form of accidental damage. It could be collusion. It could be the theft we spoke about. It could be flood, as he said.
Once again,
it could be
being the devil's advocate.
Okay.
So two cars are in a collision.
Yes.
The other person also has a third party insurance. They cover me, I cover them, right?
No. Whenever there's collision, the third party operates is a legal liability.
Yes.
So we have to find where the legal liability lies.
Whose fault it was.
Whose fault it was.
It was nobody's fault. It just happened. The wind was blowing, and there was a storm, and it just pushed the cars, and we collided. It's nobody's fault.
If it's not your fault, then you don't have any legal liability to repair the other vehicle.
So you win as an insurance entity.
We don't
win. It's nobody's fault.
We don't win.
Because you don't have to pay anybody.
So in this case, you see that
I'm supposed to talk of winners and losers sometimes.
Yes. In that particular case, the person who has comprehensive insurance will be covered. because it is accidental damage to his property.
Yes.
But then, because there's no third-party liability, it wasn't my fault, my third party will not cover for you.
So once again, the lawyer in her is telling me that is trying to say to our viewers that everybody get comprehensive, so that when this happens, your insurance takes care of you, their insurance also takes care of them.
Yes.
Great.
And then everybody walks away happy.
Yes.
Great. I was advocating that everybody takes the comprehensive because the values of the vehicles are part of our national income. They are part of our lives. When you lose your vehicle, you've lost a lot. Okay? So people shy away from comprehensive basically because of the costs.
It's a legit concern.
But when all of us decide to do comprehensive, then the basic rate of 5% can drop to 1 or 2%.
That's the case.
Because then the law of large numbers come to play. So you get almost every vehicle being on comprehensive.
How about you reduce the rates as a thing of policy or strategy to get more people to come for comprehensive?
Oh, it's a chicken and egg situation.
Because that could actually be that thing that changes the whole narrative. I
can tell you that the race, when they started, may have started from, let's say, 15%. Because only 5 people were having vehicles in Ghana. Each vehicle costs, let's say, 100,000 cedis. Only 5, the 5 people should contribute to at least replace one of the vehicle's costs. Yeah. So the premium will be so high until people started buying vehicles, doing comprehensive. Then the pool was growing. Then we are reducing the premiums.
We have some questions coming in by way of social media. We'll try to answer those, and then we'll move on to the Motor Compensation Fund and how it ties into the motor insurance.
That's good.
Can I get my premium back if I do not make any claims for over 4 years? I pay so much to insure my vehicle comprehensively.
It is insurance, and therefore, when you pay the premiums, technically you cannot get them back. The premium that you have paid has gone to pay somebody's claims. You didn't make a claim, but someone in the pool made a claim. And insurance is premised on the fact that not everyone should make a claim. If everyone was supposed to make a claim, we cannot charge that low premium.
Then you'd have to give the full
Then we have to give the full amount for you to pay. So what is happening now is we give some discounts for those who have not made claims. And now some companies have permission, or they've been approved by the regulator to pay what we call cashback. So
does this happen in Ghana though?
Yes.
Because I only know it used to be in other jurisdictions.
Yes, it's happening in Ghana. So some insurance companies have been
that
approved.
Cashback, is it for only comprehensive insurance holders?
For comprehensive insurance holders. It depends on what the regulator approves. Okay. You need to request from the regulator that you want to apply a cashback, or you want to do that and that on your policy.
So cashback is basically you didn't make a claim for the whole year, so we can give you an amount back to encourage you to be a better driver.
That's exactly it.
So as he said, if you go a year without claiming or asking for the insurance company to repair or pay compensation for your policy, they will give you a percentage. Second year, it increases. Third year, it increases. And you can go as high as up to 50%. Yes, so after 5 years, you have not claimed, the insurance you'll be paying the premium. So if you are supposed to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis premium, you end up paying 500 Ghana cedis.
Until that very day you have an accident. And it takes you back to zero.
It depends on one step. And that is where I want to...
so, let's bring this down. You were to pay 1,000 cedis.
Yes.
After the first year, they say pay 900.
Yes.
Great.
Second, 8. So you hit 500. Then you have one incident. Yes. You now pay 600?
600, yes. So you step back 1.
Oh, okay. Yes. And not go back to the entire 1,000.
No.
And that is where I would want to... will I say caution or educate our viewers, because there are a lot of times that people have an accident, collision or whatever form of accident it is. they are not the ones at fault. The other person is the one at fault. Immediately they see that you have a comprehensive policy. They say, you have comprehensive policy, go and claim from your insurance. You go and claim from your insurance. What comes back to hit you is that you lose your no-claim discount.
Yeah.
So where you are not the one at fault,
they have to take care
you
of
have to ensure that they take care of you so that you maintain your no-claim discount.
Your clean sheets.
Yes.
I understand the public why they normally will make an own damage claim and even lose the no-claim discount because of time. He has to go to police station. They have to determine the fault and all that.
Go to
it is not for you.
It
is not for you to do that. All you need to do is to get the details of the third party to the insurance company and let the insurance company know that it wasn't my fault. It was that person's fault.
But how do you
the insurance
company?
The insurance company will have to do the follow-up
with the police,
with the person, the third party who caused the loss, and then make a subrogation against that person.
Counsel, you act like you don't live in Ghana. Do you know what typically happens when there's an accident? Everybody's shouting. Nobody's talking at that point.
Yes.
The guy who is running to you is fighting so hard to run away from his mess, unless it's so clear that everybody there supports it.
Yes.
The typical Ghanaian is going to jump up and start yelling. At the end of the day, if the person doesn't accept that this is my fault, and you tell your insurers to go and talk to him, he'll just go and continue the argument.
So what I'm saying is that your vehicle has been repaired under your comprehensive. We are just trying to save your NCD, and the insurance company maybe save our outlay.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, you need your vehicle back on the road. So you make a claim, an own damage claim. But if you give the insurance company a lot more details about the accident, the insurance company on its own, at its own cost, will now go and fight your cause. And if they get something good for you, they take their money back, then they reinstate your NCD, so you don't lose anything. So as for your vehicle,
so it's more like a win-win for the insurance.
It's more of a win-win.
And you in terms of how much you'll be paying for the next premium.
That is
Great. Let's take the next question.
If my driver's license is expired, but I have a valid insurance policy, can I still successfully make a claim? What is the business of the insurance company with my license?
Thank you. Well, this is a question that's always come. I mean, almost every time we are having this issue where the license is expired and then the policy is valid. One, the policy says that if you drive without a valid license, your policy will not operate. If you have the insurance policy, and in the exclusion, it says if you drive without a valid license and you have a claim, we will not pay. It is under the we will not pay section. So the reason why we don't have to pay is, one, there's a law that says that you cannot drive a car without a valid license.
It's a criminal offense.
It's a criminal offense. So as an insurance company, well, I would have to pay because you have paid premium. I would have loved to pay.
Are you sure?
But I'm going against. I'm going against public policy.
How about
and I'm also encouraging many people to say, don't take a license, just get on a car and get on the road and get accidents. The reason you must have a license is to ensure that you are well trained to drive the vehicle on the road.
Okay.
So
he didn't say he didn't have a license. To be able to have a license, okay, you need to qualify.
Yes.
Go through the testings, and you're issued with one.
Yes.
Assuming this person's license only expired the day before,
Yes.
maybe on his way to renew it, then there's this accident. There's no exception even in that, because it's not like the person is not qualified to be on the road, does not qualify to have a license. There's just a small lapse in that. Maybe even when the day before there was an issue and they said, come today to have your license fixed.
The truth of the matter is that if you are going for a renewal of the license, DVLA will check your eyes and all that.
Yes.
Because as time goes on, we get into infirmities, and the DVLA wants to find out whether you are still in the right frame of mind to drive.
Insurance entities are not DVLA. If DVLA now checks you and says that yes, you were qualified, or perhaps what if it was DVLA's fault? You went there the day before, there was a system failure, they tell you, okay, come tomorrow for it. What happens in this situation?
You cannot drive. The law says that if you don't have a valid license, do not drive or do not put a vehicle on the road. It's just like somebody having a B license and driving an articulated truck, which requires an F. So you are not valid.
You
don't have
can't
a valid
even
license.
do anything where you give a minimal figure.
There are sometimes, depending on the insurance company, the outlook now, we are trying to encourage people to take insurance. So we have what we call ex gratia payments. So sometimes they look at your circumstance. They look at how long you have been with the insurance company. They look at your record, and they come to a conclusion that this particular client, let's make an exception for the client and pay the person something, or they might even absolve the whole bill. Okay. So it's yes, that's the general rule.
I just want to know that it's not this strict, in that there are some people who have genuine reasons why some things happen.
He stated the general rule.
I've just stated the technical bit.
Yes.
But we always do business consideration.
Yes.
We always do business consideration. Like the case that you mentioned, just today that it expired and then I have an accident. I mean, there's no justification not paying the claim. These days, insurance companies do not say we won't pay. We are more of, you have to pay something, because the claim time is the only time that the person gets to get something from insurance. Insurance is intangible. So when you buy it, you don't get anything home until there's a loss. Then you get to feel like, oh, I bought insurance. So these days, we've moved from repudiation to at least pay something. That is where we are now.
Great. How about transfer of policies or cover? You've bought your car, and Wella needs a car now. You've been blessed with a new car. You want to sell to her, but you've used the car for only 3 months and you have a comprehensive cover.
Yes.
What happens to that? Does she have to take out a new policy, or she can rely on your policy?
In fact, it's a very, very good question to answer. We are having a lot of issues surrounding this particular issue. The motor insurance policy is stated in it that it is not transferable.
So it's personal to
the one who took it. So when you have a comprehensive policy which has run only 3 months and you sell the vehicle to Noella, all you have to do is to tell us that you've sold the vehicle to Noella. Now Noella says, okay, I want to take, now Noella will fill the proposal form and say, I am buying insurance from you. The money we were supposed to refund, the unexpired premium that we are supposed to refund to you, you tell us that we should just give it to Noella.
And she'll pay you off.
And then we pay it to Noella on Noella's policy. So all we want to say is,
earlier that if you're doing a short term, you pay more.
No.
So if it's 6 months,
no.
Shouldn't it be more than what the difference that would have been
This
remaining?
is a peculiar situation where the vehicle is already insured with us and it's running. So it's just changing hands from Solomon to Noella.
Okay.
So we accept that it should go on. Now, Solomon will have to be off as the insured, and Noella is replacing Solomon. So we can continue that policy on the vehicle, but this time around in Noella's name.
Okay.
But if this simple change is not done, and there's an accident, and Noella wants to claim on the policy, she's not the policy holder.
So the only risk here is that if there's an accident, you would need Solomon to make the claim.
And Solomon will say that I have sold the vehicle to Noella.
But Solomon can say, I sold it, but I held on to it to help Noella.
So under insurance principles, Solomon should not be. You see, insurance, that's the legal aspect. You want us to
I'm
simplify
looking at
it.
what's happening on the streets, okay?
Yes.
You sold a car, there's
Yes.
a policy. Oh, you drive it, it still has 1 year, 6 months on it. If there's anything, I'll claim for you.
And then
That's what
It
every
happens.
day-
We've seen them.
And once that happens
Yes.
and they come, do you
we pay
honor-
because Solomon says, I gave Noella the right
To
to
drive,
Right, to
yes.
drive, provided we find that the vehicle, the change of ownership at
Hasn't
DVLA, if it has been done,
Then
then
no.
Solomon doesn't have insurable interest in the car
No.
anymore.
Yes.
So
that's
it
the
doesn't
point
matter.
I was-
It doesn't matter if the policy is still running. You don't have an insurable interest because the loss of the vehicle, the loss of the vehicle, does not cause any financial loss
Yes.
to Solomon.
So it means that if somebody were to give me his car to be using, I can take out a policy?
You can.
So
But the car is
At
not
that
in my
point,
name, going by the same principle.
It doesn't need to be in your name. But at the
Exactly.
point that you are driving,
Uh-huh.
when there's a loss to the vehicle, the person can say, repair my car for me. So you have an insurable
Great.
interest in the
So
vehicle.
use the same principle to cover the Solomon and Noella situation, where it's in my name, but you took out the policy because
Yes.
maybe you're my friend and you could drive my car.
He's bought a car
So-
and he's changed the vehicle, the DVLA documents to her name. It is her car. Any loss to the vehicle has no financial implication on Solomon. And Solomon does not have any right to insure the vehicle. Otherwise, what I'll do, I'll look for vehicle numbers and I go into a gamble.
yes.
I'll insure 58 vehicles with my money and hope that they will make an accident and I'll go and claim and make money for myself. I won't repair the vehicle because it's not mine.
Yeah.
So insurance is not wagering, it's not gambling. That is why we won't allow you to insure a property that you don't have insured, that a loss to it will
Doesn't
not have a
affect you.
financial
Implication
implication
on
on
you.
you.
Yes.
Great.
That's it. So a very important principle that affects insurance is insurable interest.
Yeah.
You should have a financial relationship with whatever is being insured, in this case, the car. So the financial relationship can arise out of ownership or usage.
Okay.
Now, in the first example we gave, after you have sold the car, when it comes to ownership, you don't have any financial relationship. When it comes to usage, you don't have any financial relationship with the car. So the basis upon which you can have a contract with the insurance company for the motor insurance policy is non-existent.
Okay.
So for that matter, you cannot claim.
Okay.
It's only persons that have some financial relationship.
But if you do not transfer ownership, then you
Then,
can still have, at
yes.
least on paper,
yes.
you have an interest
There-
in the
there-
car.
you do
there-
have
there's a
interest.
space
Yes.
for you to say, I gave the car to Noella to drive.
Okay.
And
How
he-
about you
yes,
transfer it to Noella's name, but then you are still holding the car and driving it?
By usage, you have a
By
financial
using- you have a
relationship.
finan- Because
I just needed
if you have
unpack all of
transferred to Noella and the car gets damaged, you cannot send the damaged car to Noella.
you need
You have
to
to
fix
repair
it
it.
first,
You have to
yes.
fix it. So at that point, so when you look at our proposal form, it says owner of vehicle, insured, or the proposer. It can be different.
Yeah.
I can drive my father's car. My father say, I don't have money to insure the car. If you want to drive it, go and do insurance and drive it. So even though my father is the owner, I can insure the vehicle.
I think it's very important we stress this point because even if, let's say you come from America to Ghana for your summer holidays and it's a whole month,
Yes.
and then you collect your sister's car
Yes.
and there's no insurance cover, probably it's a brand new car.
Yes.
You can, though you're just staying for a month, you can take out a policy in your name
Yes.
just for the period that you'll be using it.
Very well.
And then after you leave, she would now have to.
Yes.
take
Let me
out a
let
policy.
me add something here. The third party insurance. If I have a third party, if I have an insurance policy, which the third party is the basis, so
Yes.
I have it either comprehensive or third party only. I can drive your car with my third party policy.
Yes.
So, in terms of the third party aspect, I can drive a similar vehicle that I have a third party upon without having to do that insurance.
Can you take that again? In everyday?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a Toyota Corolla and I've insured it. let's say comprehensively, or even third party only, then I pick your car,
A Toyota
which is,
Corolla.
yes, or a similar vehicle, which is not insured. You are yet to do the insurance on the car. So I come home and I said, oh, I want to use your car today. He said, oh, I have not bought insurance for the car, so you can, oh, don't worry. I have insurance on my car. So I will use my third-party insurance to drive your car.
And that is valid.
That is valid.
Regardless of the fact that on the policy paper they didn't list my car
That
number.
is valid. So my third-party policy, when I drive a police officer meets me and says, where is the insurance on the vehicle? He said, this insurance, the vehicle belongs to my friend. He has not insured the vehicle in his name. This is my insurance on my vehicle at home. I'm using a third party to drive this car.
You haven't seen it happening on the streets of Accra. So the police have a short code.
Yes.
They are not going to talk to you first.
Yes.
They're going to key in your car number.
Yes.
And then wait for that message to pop up.
Yes.
The moment it doesn't show,
Yes.
they are arresting you.
Yes.
They're taking you to the station. They're not about to have a conversation
Some
about...
police officers didn't know that our insurance policy covered this. So we have educated them.
So we should
And
expect
so you
better
just have
now,
to
yeah?
you just have to pull that certificate, the one that on your vehicle, show your name being on it, and say that you are driving
But
with
must it be the same make of a car? Or can
No,
it be
similar.
different?
Similar. Because
Similar. So you're looking at similar in value.
yes, because if I have a Class B license, I must be driving a Class B.
No, I mean,
type
I'm
of
talking
vehicle.
about driving a higher-end car. Maybe your car is a Corolla.
So far as I'm able
And
to
then
drive
you
it,
have your
that's it.
third party,
Yes.
and you pick Noella's BM.
Yes, it covers.
It covers it?
It covers. But if I pick a bus,
Great.
then it doesn't cover because my class of license does not permit me.
So it's about the class of whether you are permitted to drive that class.
Exactly.
And once again, for our viewers' benefit,
Yes.
you have taken out an insurance on your car.
Yes.
It means you can carry that insurance and drive any car within that class,
Very much so.
whether it's insured or not.
Very much so.
This is excellent information to our viewers.
I'm actually being educated.
As well.
I didn't know about this aspect
Yes,
of it.
it's very much so.
I would want to make an additional comment that might be of benefit to our viewers. You know, when you take a policy for your vehicle, probably for 1 year, then you use it for 3 months, and you are traveling away for 4 months, 5 months, and then to return. You know, people don't know that you can go to the insurance company and let them suspend the policy whilst you are away, if you are sure that no one is going to
So
use
you buy
the
back
car.
time.
Yes. So you pause it for the 4 months that you are away from the jurisdiction of away from your car. When you come back, then you go and activate it. And it's so these are ways
the
in
date
which
on the sticker would then have to be revised.
yes,
right?
it would, and you only pay just about 23 cedis for the sticker, a new sticker.
So you buy back like
know.
3 or 4 months, whatever time you were away.
Yes, yes. So those are the things that people can take advantage of to ensure that or
save
to
money.
save money and make full benefits of their insurance policies.
So we
words.
spoke about the motor compensation fund.
Yes.
the
So
motor-
we wanted to talk about that, but probably we should just summarize what it is.
We should just
because
summarize it.
I think it will sit better with insurance claims.
yes.
But just
Yes.
let people know that there is this thing also there.
Yes. Initially, we spoke about the third party,
Yes.
and we've seen people accidentally knock people. Some get injured, some die. And many a time, you hear the family saying, oh, after the accident, the driver has even not stepped foot here.
We don't know where to find him.
Yes. And the driver has not been to the hospital to take care of the person. Truth be told, we don't know where the driver would be.
Hit
He's
and
also,
run,
he's also
technically.
stressed. Okay. The most important thing after an accident, injury, is to know the insurance of the vehicle. That is the most important. The driver need even not report the loss to us, the incident to us. But you can report it to us and say, I was knocked down by this vehicle. The insurance company is supposed to take over every compensation. It's not the driver. The driver may do so on humanitarian grounds. He has purchased insurance, and at that time, the insurance must now come in to do its work. So we should forgive people when they knock down people accidentally. And we shouldn't go after them. We've seen people going to their homes, going to beat the drivers and all that, asking the driver to carry the person to hospital and all that. It is not the duty of the driver. That is why the driver purchased insurance. But on humanitarian grounds, socially, it is good that you approach them
Show some
and then
empathy.
show some empathy.
Yeah.
Beyond that, just point them or show them your insurance. That is where there is insurance on the vehicle.
Yes.
Now, there are instances where there is no insurance on the vehicle. The vehicle has not purchased insurance at all.
Yeah.
At all. And so the vehicle hits you or damages your property, and he has no insurance at all.
It's a hopeless situation, and he has no money as well.
He has no money as well. Then you go to the NIC and say that a vehicle has hit me, or the vehicle hit me and ran away, and so I am coming for compensation.
How about those in a commercial vehicle that has an accident and there's no cover? I'm talking about the
No,
passengers.
it's every
All of
vehicle.
that. All
Every
uninsured.
vehicle that
Because
falls
we've been
into this.
likening it to hit and run. It looks like you need to
okay.
be outside the vehicle.
Okay.
I just want our viewers to know that if you sit in a commercial vehicle
Yes.
and then there's an accident and
Yes.
you are injured, somebody dies,
Yes.
your relatives could make a claim under the motor compensation fund,
Exactly.
especially where that vehicle has no insurance.
Yes.
There's a third aspect of it.
Yeah.
So we've not been having a lot of insurance companies going bankrupt. But in case of bankruptcy, so you see insurance, you take premium, it's supposed to cover
At the
for
beginning,
1 year.
I talk of insuring the insurer.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's supposed to cover for 1 year.
Yeah.
Within 3 months of your cover, the insurance company goes bankrupt and then probably has folded. What happens to your policy? You might not even know that such a
Situation has
company,
happened.
has gone bankrupt until an accident happens. You get to the office and there's no insurance company. So in instances like this, you can also fall under the motor compensation fund. And it's not a mandatory thing. They are not obligated. They look at the situation. They look at your facts,
yes,
and then they will now see what your situation merits.
Yes.
Yeah, so because it's not a contract. You don't have a contract with the NIC.
So they decide how much to give you?
Yes, depending on the circumstance and the loss that has occasioned to you.
And
so you have to
what even
justify
happened is true.
Yes,
Because it could be
they
a
are
domestic
frauds.
incident and then you pretend that you were knocked down on the
By a
road.
vehicle. So far as there is no insurance cover, compensation,
Or
the
there's no
NIC
identifiable policy holder.
Yes, the NIC, the fund is contributed to by insurance companies.
Companies, yeah.
So my sister mentioned that the situation there is kind of different from the insurance companies. Reason being that it's not a pool where funds are being managed, premiums are being paid in, and we are managing claims. These are monies that we've set aside for such situations. So the NIC needs to manage it well. Otherwise, then you have people coming in who are not getting compensation from insurance companies, who are also not getting compensation from the NIC.
So just so you know that it is once again, like Noella was explaining, looking out for each other in the space. But this time it's like extra set aside for special situations.
Special
Because
situations.
you have not been able to lay legal liability against anyone.
Yes.
So it does appear.
It's like
that
a charity technically.
It's a charity thing. You are taking it from the government.
Yes, and
You
the
know-
state is
And
responsible
the state is
for
responsible for
situations
such
like
things
that.
like that.
And the normal, and that's why insurance.
So that's
is,
like the NGO wing.
It should have been the state bearing it.
yes.
And the insurance companies out of operations decide, okay, let's set up a fund that will take care of those situations.
That's
So
innovation.
technically, it should have been the state
Yes.
bearing
Great.
that. You know.
Well, I didn't know that discussing motor insurance could be this exciting, in all honesty, and you guys are just a city topic. Thank you so much. I am hoping that we meet again to discuss insurance claims at a later date. But it was great having you, Noella Gbire-Povi, and Solomon Shumbarima. This has been our show today. Goodbye till next time. My name is Noella Seidu.